If your job at a healthcare facility includes disinfecting against viruses, you know prevention is the best medicine. And maintaining healthy spaces starts with a healthy cleaning routine. Grainger's world-class supply chain helps ensure you have the quality products you need when you need them. From disinfectants and cleaning supplies to personal protective equipment, so you can help deliver a clean bill of health. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
What's going on, everybody? I am Mick Manhattan, the Scene Snob. I'm here to talk to you about Kimball's Cookies. They've been our sponsor since the beginning, and we truly love them. They make custom cookies for every special occasion or holiday that you can think of. So order today, and you can order in sugar cookie, you can order chocolate. They have gluten-free options. They take care of you, and they're designed with love. I can tell you that for a fact. So check out Kimball's Cookies on Facebook, and when you order, use promo code SNOBS, and they'll give you 10% off your order. Thanks. What's up, everybody? It's the Scene Snob. I'm Mick Manhattan, and I'm here to talk to you guys about our awesome sponsor, Manscaped. They are the premier tool for your grooming downstairs. Summer's coming. Are you ready to unveil your beach bod? You're in luck. Our friends at Manscaped just launched their 4th generation performance package, which includes the Lawnmower 4.0. You heard that right, the 4.0 is here. Complement your summer bod with a trim from the leaders in male grooming. The sun is shining, call your name, guys. Join the 2 million men who trust Manscaped worldwide, including myself and all of the hosts here, and get ready for Hot Guy Summer by going to manscaped.com for 20% off and free shipping with the code SNOBS, S-N-O-B-S, and they'll get 20% off and free shipping. So go check out Manscaped now. They have amazing stuff like the 4.0, the Weed Whacker, the Crop Shaver, and all of their deodorizers and everything else are truly, truly amazing. I wear their underwear. I think it's just fantastic. But don't take my word for it. Go check them out yourselves because they have plenty of stuff for everybody. So go to manscaped.com and tell them the Scene Snob sent you by using promo code SNOBS. And I'll talk to you guys later.
Welcome to the Scene Snob podcast. I'm Scene Snob Jr. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Scene Snobs podcast. I'm, of course, your host, Mick, and this is The Mad-Man. So we are here, and we are interviewing today a very special guest, Damian Maffei. You got to say it right for me now, though, man.
It's Maffei. Come on. Talked about this.
Swing and a miss. Come on, try a little culture, all right?
We are gonna sit here and we're going to talk about his epic movies, and we're going to talk about a lot of other fun stuff. So join in and talk.
Enjoy our conversation.
Enjoy the conversation. All right. That was it. I can cut that up. So
Maffei.
All right. Yep.
I went through all of school with it being Maffei. My grandmother was like, "You people pronouncing it wrong."
Yeah, I get it, man. Oh.
So I went to college and I ran into some people, and they were like, "Maffei." I was like, "It's Maffei." And they're like, "Excuse me." "Excuse me, Maffei."
Miss you or Devin Maffei.
Yeah.
Just
And then, like, quickly, it's just like, okay, it's Maffei. I get it. I understand. All right. So
That's awesome, man. Where'd you go to college?
Oh, man, that was a community college on Long Island. I grew up in New York.
Okay.
Nice.
And then I was a terrible student. I couldn't have gotten into any college. And, so I got there, but they had an amazing theater program, and I learned so much there. I didn't do any work. I didn't learn, like school stuff.
Right. No, of course. Yeah.
But I did a lot of theater there, and I went to acting school from there in New York City.
Oh, that's awesome. Which school did you go to?
William Esper Studio,
Nice.
which is a serious place.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of, you start with like 30 students, and then after a week, there's like 18 students.
Oh,
the rest,
yeah.
all the models dropped out and stuff.
Everyone was open for a
Does this
cakewalk.
work?
This isn't acting. That's exactly what this is. Well, we appreciate you coming down today.
Yeah,
thank
really do. We are, like I said, pretty easy conversational. So we just want to see like how you feel about like coming down to the horror fest. I mean, you're an iconic character in horror. was The Strangers Pray at Night.
You got it.
So we have to settle a debate.
Yes.
He says Man in the Mask. I know it's listed as Man in the Mask. I've heard and I call him Sackhead.
I saw it earlier, Sackhead, so I'm confused.
So what would you say? You have to give us the ultimate.
His official title is Man in the Mask. That's what it says in the script, or it'll just say the man in the script. That's the official credit.
Okay.
But like Johannes Roberts, the director, he'd be like, "Where's the sack? The bag man? Where's Sacagawea?" He had a
That's awesome.
He had a name every time, and I was on that movie every single day. So he just.
I mean, like I said, man, it's an iconic character. So
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun, that movie. It was a lot of fun. And I was there every day because they just called me every day because Johannes didn't know if maybe he wanted to have me behind a tree or something, or, just put me in the background there. And that was an odd movie. It was very kind of adapting and evolving always. Like the title kept changing. Yeah. The ending changed like 5 times while we were filming.
Wow.
And and he would just go with it.
So for stuff like that, so was that your first horror movie? That wasn't your first one, right? We were.
It wasn't my first horror movie. No.
Did you play
my first movie ever was, I think, was Nikos the Impaler, which is a movie near and dear to myself and Felissa Rose because it's like alarmingly bad. So that's where I met her. And,
but there was fun, weren't they?
Right.
On set.
That was fun. Well, I hadn't done anything. That was I knew the effects artist on that, and he was like, "I'm coming to New York," and I was like, "Why?" He's like, "I'm doing the effects for this German splatter director, his first American movie," and I was like, "I gotta get in on this." And I was like, "Get me in there, get me an audition." And he came back, and they're like, he said, "Yeah, they said you can play one of the cops," and I was like, "Oh my god, that's it! I made it." It didn't occur to me that they'd cast me without seeing a picture of me or anything.
Right. Yeah.
This was 2000 or 2001, so the internet was still a little,
In its infancy.
yeah.
Still growing.
And I hadn't done anything, so there was nothing to find. But I didn't care. I was like, "This is my big break. This is it. I can quit acting school." I was in acting school, and I was like,
Don't need you losers anymore.
Hollywood is called, and I went there, and they gave me a blue button-up work shirt and pants, and they stapled NYPD patches on my shoulder, like while I'm wearing it, and the hat, and I was like, "Oh boy!" And that movie's just.
That's a special touch.
Oh yeah.
I met Felissa there.
That's
Nice.
fantastic.
But Haunt was awesome. That's a great movie, man.
I had a good run there at Strangers and Haunt, and then
Wrong Turn.
Wrong Turn.
Wrong
And
Turn
that's
was awesome.
that's all kind of the same group. It's all filmed in the Kentucky, Ohio area. I don't live there, but I've spent more time there now than really anywhere else. So those are all produced. John D. Wagner is the producer on all 3 of those.
Oh, that's awesome.
And, James Harris did the Pray at Night and then Wrong Turn, and a lot of the crew is the same. So it's really kind of like a cool family type thing.
Nice. That's
Sure.
fantastic.
And I like the movies too.
That usually helps, I would think. Yeah.
It does. It helps to do a movie and then want to talk about it.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. And like with this, having done so much in the horror genre, doing the conventions and things like that, like it's okay if it's not your favorite genre. We will not judge in any way, shape, or form. But I'd love to hear what you think about, the horror genre.
No, I've been a fan since before, like my memory started as being a horror fan. I remember the first moment for me was Alien. I was watching, my parents watching it. I remember I was standing behind the couch, and and the dinner scene happened.
Oh, changed all our lives.
It really did.
Oh,
it really
my
did.
God.
You know what changed my life with that movie though is I really like Tom Skerritt's character, Dallas, and that was a long time ago. So, I mean, in my head, and that's why I used to be with movies. I'd kind of put myself in there, or try to put myself in there, or put myself as the character. And he was, he's a working guy. He's just trying to get out of there. I really liked his character, and in my head. Back then, it was 70 years ago, or whatever. He's the one that's supposed to, he's going to survive or whatever. Right. And he gets in those ducks, and you can just see that, he knows he's made a mistake, and he just wants to get out of there. And he's panicking. And that whole scene is just amazing. Yeah. No, and he's great in that. He's just muttering to himself. And then, so him dying there, that was a big moment for me as a horror fan. And as an actor, I kind of like that whole sequence, and that whole, was unexpected. So that all, kind of came together. And then, those were mom and pop video store days. So,
the good days.
My parents, my mother was like, "No, you shouldn't be watching this crap." But I get to rent it, and then, HBO, and it's really probably just. Pretty much. There was Cinemax at the time, but I didn't sleep, so I'd stay up all night. I'd sneak back down to watch TV. So I did experience Cinemax, after midnight, which was
I feel like we're all the same age.
Smut.
That's pretty much. Yep.
Skinemax, but I saw a lot of horror movies that way, and I'd rent whatever as soon as I could rent stuff on my own. That was it. That was the shelves. You just. Staring at the shelves, they dupe you into because the beautiful covers, they dupe you into renting it, and you bring it home. You're like, "What the fuck is this?
It's terrible."
Nail Gun Massacre.
Actually, that's leads me to my next question. Being in a lot of these movies, and like you said, you worked with Felicity, you worked with Matthew Modine, and Wrong Turn and such, and so many people. That you would have rented their movies back in the day. What's that like for you stepping in? And
I can tell you, Matthew Modine, my brother's a few years older than me. He's the atypical jock, kind of shove people in locker jocks, which his reputation kind of was still lingering when I went to high school. So the Jeremy Connor's brother, man, don't mess with him. He said he was on the wrestling team, and he watched Vision Quest every day for at least 8 months. Every single day, Vision Quest would be on there. And I was a little kid, couldn't do anything about it. And I'm always watching Vision Quest, which is also not really an appropriate movie for a kid to be watching.
Yeah, valid.
But so I'm so sick of Matthew Modine's face. So that was the thing. I told him that. I was like, I'm so sick of seeing your goddamn face. So that's like that's a thing.
That's one of the best starts ever. You can't really get better than that.
Running into some, I had like Bill Sage from Wrong Turn. I had been a fan of his before. I've been doing this or attempting to since 2000. But yeah, seeing these people is it always has an effect. Yeah. Although, like for me, that the greatest moment there was kind of like an acting hero of mine is Clu Gulager.
Okay. Yeah, very nice.
I used to watch The Return of the Living Dead every day
because it's amazing.
Rent it. I just keep renting it and rent it. And I loved Bird. I just loved Clu. He's just such a, he's just everyone in that movie is just an awful person, pretty much.
Yep.
Except for I guess Freddie. He's just an idiot. But
very
everyone is responsible for some piece of the awful that goes on in that movie. I just love Bert. And like Clue Gulliger, and like watching that movie, I was like, there's something about this guy. Because like you watching so many bad horror movies, like it's so much bad acting, and so when you see someone, one of these older actors kind of picking up a paycheck or just doing it, even when they're like not into it, it's still something's going on there.
There's extra.
And I just totally loved him. And my mother walked by. I remember first time I was watching Return of the Living Dead, she was like, "Oh, Clue Gulliger," and was my mother. She would always like spot the veteran actors, like Farley Granger in The Prowler. So I would always learn about these actors, and then I'd want to go out and watch more of their movies. And that Clue, and I got all of his movies, and I just really enjoyed him. And then I started to, my friends of mine would, I'd make friends with people, in the business, and they became friends with Clue, and they're like, "Oh my God, we're friends with Clue." And I was like, "No, I don't want to meet any of these people." No, he's great, he's great. And I was like, "No, like
it'll
we're having a bad day or something. Like I don't need to meet him, so that's it." And but I was in Los Angeles. I was in Studio City. At a diner with a friend eating probably pancakes, and he was like, "Oh my God, it's Matthew Perry over there," and I was like, "That's Clue Gulliger over there," and he was like, "Who?" I was like, "Shut up." He was like with Jeff Burr, the director, and I was like, "Oh my God, it's Clue! Oh my God!" And I called my friend up, and I was like, "Clue's in this diner right now," and he was like, "Hold on." I was like, "No, don't come here," and so he came there, and this was late. It was probably 11 o'clock at night, and Clue and them got up, and Jay was like, "Clue, I want to introduce you to someone there," and he came over, and we were out front talking till 4:30 in the morning.
That's awesome.
It was great. I mean, he's just awesome.
That's a great story.
Yeah.
And 2 days later, I went to the New Bev, to see Tintorera and Chorok, which is shark and croc movie, Filipino croc movie, very special movies. And Clue was there, which he's like all the time, and he was like, "Damian." I was like,
"Oh, that's amazing."
You remember me? So and that that's just someone's like, "That's just how Clue is," and I was like, "Fuck you!
Don't tell me that. Don't sully this.
I'm special."
Yeah, exactly.
So
to horror fans, he's such like an icon.
Yeah.
And he shows up in movies, and you're just kind of like the dad in Nightmare on Elm Street 2, and you're just like, "That's Clue," and
that's why I wanted to see that movie, Nightmare on Elm Street. I mean, I told my mother, like, "Clue's in this. I got to see this movie."
That's great.
That's fantastic.
That's like the big one for me. And then anyone else I like really wanted to meet is already dead. So
yeah. Do you have anything that you're working on now that like you can spill the beans on a little bit? It doesn't have to be horror, but
anything you're super excited
when
about?
When does this come out?
This will premiere this weekend. It will be playing.
Got a lot of good stuff coming up. I think I could talk about a couple of them. Well, there's a movie coming up called The Events Surrounding Peeping Tom, which is my favorite script I've ever read. And
really?
It's just brilliant. It's a psychological horror movie. It's kind of got inspirations from like Polanski's The Tenant. I know, I'm not supposed to say Polanski.
It's all right.
No.
He did do some good movies.
Chinatown's one of my favorite movies.
The guy made decent movies. We can leave it at that. I think we can.
That's where it ends.
You do not say decent. In Chinatown, Rosemary's Baby.
I love The Tenant. That's my favorite of
Tenant's
his. And he's really good in that. So, but what a horrible person, obviously. But still a great movie. Yep. It's got like a little bit of like The Wicker Man in there, and it's really. We're very excited about it. It's
that's awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah,
Felicia's in that. She's it's really going to be kind of next level for her.
Okay.
She's it's a really good part, and she's really finally a chance to like do some really fucking
Yeah.
Real acting.
Yeah,
So,
get into
you know,
it, yeah.
Everyone just wants to kind of like trot her out there as penis girl.
Of course.
But, which is fine.
Slasher eye date.
But right. So that one we're very excited about. We got a movie called Time's Up coming out, which is a sort of it's a slasher movie.
Okay.
It takes place on New Year's Eve, so it's a New Year's Eve slasher movie.
Fun.
It's not the only reason it exists, because we're like, let's not make the only reason this movie exists because it's a holiday slasher. Didn't want to do that, but for reasons within the drive, it does take place on New Year's Eve.
Nice.
It has nothing to do with New Year's Evil, which is terrible.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully this one will replace New Year's Evil from our New Year's Eve horror movie.
We tried. It's not that hard. It shouldn't be, but it's hard to make the movies good. And got a sequel coming up right there. There's one coming out as a script I got. I was in North Carolina for a wedding, and this script came in. They contacted me, and I thought it was like a prank or something. It said the Mutilator 2 on it, and I was like,
Wait, we're getting a second Mutilator. Are you telling us?
That's what I'm telling you. I'm telling you, it's directed by the same guy.
Whoa!
So Buddy Cooper reaches out to me, and he'll be at Fear Fest tomorrow. He's coming. We're going out. And he was like, Damian, he's like, I'm a big fan of what you're doing out there, and we're talking to strangers. He's like, I like to, look at Mutilator 2. And I was like, what are you talking about?
TV, that's freaking awesome,
I read it, and I was like, this script is, oh my God, it's so mutilatory. Except there's like 80 body count instead of,
gosh.
Oh, man. Because that first one is so bonkers.
Yeah.
This thing is
Delightfully off the rails.
like I read it right away. I don't think I've ever gotten a script and read it right away. Because I told Buddy, I own like 5 copies of the Mutilator on VHS. I had like a PG version of it.
Yeah, they
got bought one.
Yep.
And it was like all the stuff was cut out. I was like, what is this? What's the point of this? So that was a big thing for me.
That's awesome.
That's incredible.
And it's thank you. Because
Seriously, that is rad, man.
Oh,
That is
I was like, you're doing it like you never did anything after that. But he's all the money. He was supposed to start filming already, but the pandemic stuff pushed it. And I mean, it goes into spoiler territory, but the original cast is returning for it. It's very meta. And like
they have to do that crazy like beginning sequence with the song where it just
Fall
says
Break.
Fall Break, or it says the original title.
Well, he was like, we're thinking about shooting in the spring. I was like, shoot in the fucking fall. What are you talking about?
right.
So I like ridiculously excited about that. And the script doesn't make any sense, but I was like, yes, of course it doesn't.
Yeah, certain movies work better when it doesn't make sense.
It was just chaos. It's just chaos.
Yep, precisely.
And like I love horror movies. I am a little bit of a snob. I try to do good things and whatnot, but I was like, I didn't even need to read the script.
You have the best wrong turn movie since the first one.
Easily.
If
not better.
Strangers.
I couldn't believe that script when I read it. They were like, we're doing Wrong Turn. And they sent it to me, and I was like, okay. Like, they want me to do the cannibal thing and unrecognizable, and I'm going to be 3-finger or whatever. And I'm reading it, and I'm like, these idiots wandering off. And then it turns into what it is. I was like, what the fuck? It didn't make it, like, as the original writer of the first one, Alan McElroy, and I was like, well, what is happening here? I was like, I love this script, obviously. It's not Wrong Turn, but, and that's what everyone will say. And I was like, all of a sudden, all these diehard Wrong Turn fans will come out of the woodwork.
Yeah.
Like, people will just be born, all of a sudden be reborn as Wrong Turn fans just because this movie came out. They're like, you ruined my childhood.
I must battle you because you're wrong.
I have never heard someone talk about the Wrong Turn movie.
No.
Although,
Pop's not that.
No.
what is interesting that I did discover out of that is every now and then, like one of the sequels will come out. Like, how are people making these movies? Like, who is watching these shit piles? And two of them are like just porn.
Yeah.
And so like we never knew. But then when I was announced for the new Wrong Turn, I just started getting on Instagram just Brazil, all Latin America, just barrage of messages.
Oh, man.
Just hundreds and hundreds a week of these. I'm the biggest Road to Terror fan. Can't wait for Road to Terror 7. I was like, whoa. And, you know, very few of them are in English. I was like, what do these people want? I was like, what is Road to Terror? And I was like, oh my God, they're wrong. So that's where the Wrong Turn justification is because these people are eating it up. And I was like, these folks are going to be upset.
This is not going to please them.
And they were mostly, I think, not happy.
And the story, like in my opinion, is better than any of the others. Like,
Absolutely.
It's got such a good story. To
I
it.
mean,
More
the
of
other
a
ones,
story.
you know, I like the first one. So
absolutely.
I think it has a really, it's good, great production value.
Best of
It's a
luck.
slasher movie with some money to it, but, you know, and a good cast.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, I dig it. You know, there's nothing to it,
Right.
but you know, you don't need anything to it. It's a slasher movie.
Exactly.
So,
it's entertaining.
yeah, and the second one, you know, it looks like shit, but it's fun. It's gory as hell. Joe
Decent
Lynch,
story. Yep.
you know, it's a good one. The rest of them are,
Joe Lynch, though, is a lot of fun. His movies are always just true.
So this one, I was like, he's got, you know, like a brain in his head and whatnot. And they originally wanted me for the redneck leader guy. What's his name? I don't know his name. He's an old guy. Tim DeZarn wound up playing him. Okay. But, you know, he's the one that goes up to him in the bar and he's racist. And, you know, you think he's, going to be dead, you know, or he's just like the racist, you know.
He's like that harbinger that you see
right.
in all the others.
So I read that, and then he comes back at the end. A couple of scenes there, I was like, I love this. Like, I need this because, you know, that was Strangers and Haunt, which were amazing. But you know,
Haunt's my favorite. I loved Haunt. I thought
you can't say no.
Haunt was fantastic.
A whole other level.
That was a great, like that. You know, that I've been very lucky because those groups are like, and that was, you know, we were filming that on Halloween, and I was like, this is really fucking cool. So it takes place on Halloween. We're filming it on Halloween in this haunted house they built,
and it's
freaking cool. They built that.
Well, it's a factory. It was it's a milking factory, and in Kentucky, and they just, you know, they went in there and they built the whole thing. And they had maps for us.
They did that.
That's cool.
On Joe Bob, the last drive-in, they did Haunt, and he was talking about it.
All right.
I grew up with Joe Bob there, watching him on the thing, and then he. There's one movie where it sets me off when people talk ill about it. It's Black Christmas, the original. And I threw a chair at someone on a podcast once because they were like, I like the remake better.
Yeah, absolutely not. That's a terrible choice.
Which one?
So, the 2006 one.
I argue,
Booty.
That's the one they go.
Yeah, come on.
And you know what? I love Black Christmas a lot. A lot. I'm not anti-remake or anything. I'm like, you know, keep them coming.
Agreed.
That movie, the first Black Christmas remake, I walked out of it when I saw it the first time. So I was just like, that's it. And I left because I was like offended. I was like, how dare you? That was a while ago. So I have watched it again since, and you know, it's really pretty. The colors really dopey. It's sleazy. I don't like that whole backstory. No, they do. It's that's nonsense. But as a slasher fan or whatever, you know, the movie does have its
got good kills.
merit.
That's all.
It does.
I just don't think it should have ever been remade. That's one, because when you reveal who the killer is, which they did in both the remakes, super quick, by the way.
Really.
I'm just like, did you not watch the original?
It is kind of like, I know, I get that, you know, you remake something, readapt or whatever, go, you know, give it your own spin, you know, but it's like, do you really not get what works so well about
they took out one of the best parts of the original.
And they tried to do the eye thing again. Stop it.
Like the second remake that just came out a couple of years ago, I liked it, but I don't I wish I didn't call it Black Christmas because it's clearly not a Black Christmas movie or remake in any way.
And that remind me about that for a second. What I was Joe Bob gave Black Christmas the same star total as Silent Night, Deadly Night 2, and I was like, "Fuck this guy!" I was like, "I'm never watching him again." It's like, "How dare you!"
I felt.
I get it. It's like his thing.
Yeah.
When he put down Big Trouble in Little China, I was there with you. I was like, "Come on!"
And I was like, he's doing hot. Like I'd heard it before they announced it. It was like, they were like, "Yo, John's on Joe Bob." I was like, I don't give a fuck, man. I got, he said, I still haven't watched it. I have, I know he was talking about
I love it.
which was another thing, kind of like I used to watch. Like that was one of the only ways you watch horror movies.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
When he was on.
Yep.
So being on there and having him talk about me was surreal.
A little meta, kind of like
That Black Christmas sequel. I remember seeing it. Ugh. And then a Princess Bride remake was announced, and Cary Elwes, who is a limited actor, he said his quote from Princess Bride, whatever. There's so few perfect things.
Oh yeah,
There will be, and he was saying that about the Princess Bride remake. He was very against it. I was like, you have the fucking balls to tweet something like that after you were in that fucking Black Christmas remake. You have the balls to talk. I was like, that is a perfect movie. Princess Bride is fun, pal.
there's holes.
I love it. The passion. That's what horror fans want to hear right now.
I'm very Black Christmas set me off because when I saw, I'm going to be that person right now. When I saw it back in my day, when I pulled that VHS off the shelf when it was just another number, and I saw it, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And I immediately watched it with my mother. She was, I was like, "You got to see this." And there was, Keir Dullea, John Saxon. There was, recognizable people before. I just fell in love with it. Everything about it, and I have loved it so much since. And I never, ever could find anyone to talk about that. Like I would never. I mean, this was before the internet.
Yep.
So if you didn't meet someone wasn't wearing a horror shirt, and you're you like stop them on the street, you weren't like talking to her.
Exactly.
And until the convention started, Fangoria, and then so it wasn't until I think it was 2005 I went to Monster Mania.
Yes.
And there was
Cherry Hill?
Yeah. And I was there for a movie called Ghost Lake, which we don't have to talk about.
Fair
But someone came to that screening and he walked out of it. And I can't really watch myself too much, so I was standing outside. And he came up to me. He was like, "Let me ask you a question. Do you like that movie?" And I was like, "Well, this is obnoxious." But
Great timing. Thanks, bud.
But I'm like, shh. He was wearing a hoodie. It's Black Christmas on. I was like, "Oh yeah, are you kidding me?" I was like, "Are you wearing a Black Christmas hoodie?" He was like, "Oh yeah, it's my favorite movie." I was like, "What?" I was like, "What is happening?" This is like Fright Rags. Fright Rags is probably the only one I knew of it, or like Rotten Cotton.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, Rotten Cotton. I didn't think about them forever.
And he's still around. Sean Lewis is still doing stuff. I was like, "Oh my God!" Like all I'd want on this thing is the eye. And he turned around. And he was like, "This one," and it had I was like, "Oh my God! How do you get that?" And I spent decades, looking for that hoodie. I never did find it, but obviously, people have come through and made things since.
That's awesome.
But yeah, that was the first time, like I spoke to a human being about it, and
Not enjoying horror.
I was like, yes, it was always, I was pissed that more people weren't embracing this. Like, fucking Halloween.
Black Christmas arguably is the one that started that.
Yeah, I was like, where's the love for this movie? And it has picked up since considerably. Black Christmas has but of course with that, there's people like, it's boring.
Right. Yeah.
I don't like it. He's not even wearing a mask.
A lot of people don't want to have to think.
I'm
Why would
just
you want to think?
What do you need a mask for? He's not. You don't see him. Like I hate people.
There are the people out there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's all. That's what they go to see it for,
Mm-hmm.
and that's just
They didn't get
I
their
see
thing.
it, man. Yeah.
and they'll just keep going. See if it's called Halloween, they'll just go out there
Of course.
and see it,
Well, we have
and then complain about it.
we have a question we ask everybody when we do interviews, but we're going to do a special Carolina Fear Fest top 5 remote dropper movies. So you are watching TV, the horror movie's on, drop the remote, you got to watch it. You're not going to the supermarket at that moment.
These are always tough questions. Black Christmas.
Yep.
All over.
And I get that, man. That's a year.
It's never been on where I haven't put it on. Alien, if that counts.
Nice. Yeah,
100% counts. Yeah.
Scared the crap.
Aliens, but I won't. We'll say Aliens is more. Whatever. I don't.
I'll count it.
I don't want to count Alien in Aliens. I don't know. If Return of the Living Dead was on, I wouldn't budge.
Strong.
That's a July 4th movie for me.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
Uh,
If I don't have a dancing naked zombie on the grave, what's the point of my day?
Deanna Quigley, man. Oh,
Happy birthday to her.
truly amazing.
this changes so much. Like I want right now. I want to say Bone Tomahawk.
Okay.
Honestly,
Oh,
Great
yes.
movie. Yeah.
I love Bone Tomahawk.
Oh, it was awesome.
Super. Yeah, I mean, you're Mr. Cannibal over there,
Right?
Wrong Turn. So
Digging
yeah.
it.
that was John Wagner who produced Strangers and Wrong Turns. That was his first big one. I was like, oh my god, I can't believe you produced the movie Kurt Russell. And Timothy Oliphant was originally supposed to play the guy from Lost,
Right.
who was good in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was supposed to be Kurt Russell, Timothy Oliphant, Richard Jenkins, and Jennifer Carpenter was supposed to be in that.
Good heavens.
You
What?
Jesus.
But I mean, they wound up with the good stuff.
Yeah, it came
listen,
out pretty
it's still a
strong.
great movie.
Yeah.
I mean, that's no slouches there. You know?
Not at all.
Another one.
Yeah, man.
There's just so many.
I get it, man. And
Like-
it's especially tough with horror because you usually do this broad any movie.
Yeah.
So people are always going around, but not because we're sticking with theme. It was we'll go horror. But I'll take if you have some that aren't horror, I'll take them.
No, Aliens fits.
Alien and Aliens fit perfectly. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there are movies that, if Midnight Run is on, I'll just sit there and watch that.
Oh man.
R.I.P. Charles Grodin.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Him and De Niro's so fucking good.
Just truly fantastic.
Just a clinic on chemistry and acting between two people.
How to properly back and forth. That's
Yeah, it's so great.
We've been best friends for 10 years. We've been podcasting.
he earned it after a
I
little,
earned
took him
it
a
after
little
a
while.
while,
It wasn't
yeah.
like he showed up.
Yeah. Oh, you're fine. But I was telling him, I was comparing him. We were talking about our friendship after Charles Grodin died. I was like, "You're like Charles Grodin and Dave." I was like, he was the best friend that you could have because he just showed up and then fixed the budget for America.
Right.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Nice.
That's rather fitting.
That's the type of, and I feel like that's a great compliment.
No, I take it as a great compliment. Anything Charles Grodin-esque is fantastic.
Love Grudge.
Would love to be the dad from Beethoven. That's the goal.
My kids were just watching Beethoven. I knew it was
Great.
coming. I was like, hold on, guys. I love the scene when he wakes up in the bed next to the dog.
Yeah.
And then he's running out and he's, are you crazy? You think you would get away with it? He just yells at him like it's a person. He's like, oh, you're finished.
It was better than the Turner and Hooch relationship. I
Oh,
think.
yeah.
Yeah.
I say Beethoven's was better.
I do like Turner and Hooch. At least the first
it's
half.
fantastic.
That movie gets dark. It's got Craig T. Nelson, which is always a bonus for me. But
I love Coach.
yeah, Turner and Hooch takes an odd adult.
It really does. And then
So,
it's
very
heavily
soft
sexualized
action.
too.
Yeah,
which is
yeah,
like
it's like-
Canine, which was
The-
more actiony. So you,
That was, that late 80s there. It's like, who's this movie for? For everyone.
everyone,
At that
exactly.
point,
Yeah,
yes, really.
everybody.
Yeah.
It's like Ghostbusters with the blowjobs.
Yeah.
It's like,
That,
Okay.
that was it. Yeah.
but you love it. You're like, you're in.
Yeah. And, good for them, because I was, seeing my parents, it was either go to the movies or not, it's like,
Oh,
babysitting costs a lot of money. So I think so I sat there a lot of stuff like Chariots of Fire, which is like
Good.
I'm,
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't like it.
No.
I will not watch the movie ever again.
I did the Best Picture winners. I watched them all like in order one year before the Oscars of whatever year it was. I did that, and I got to. There was a lot of them. I was like, but Chariots of Fire was one of those ones where I was like, that and English Patient are two movies. I
can't.
Yeah.
English Patient
This is a
disgusting.
fight. This is a fight to get through.
Yeah.
It's boring.
Yeah.
But I think they thought I wasn't paying attention in the theater. So I remember my first memory in a movie theater really is seeing Witness.
Oh, wow.
And I think that they thought that you just bring me there and give me candy and popcorn.
Yeah, you'll just be in
And
the
I was,
world.
like, not be paying attention to this movie, but it was. It's like
Yeah.
this boobs and Danny Glover being shot and a lot of shooting.
Oh, yeah.
So that was early age. Good for my parents.
And with the Amish people. Gosh, that's a curious memory to have to go
Yeah.
through from the beginning, eh?
Yeah.
Well, there's something about performers like yourself, entertainers, and such. Like that's the sort. Like you guys it's been ingratiated to you, and you're so young that, of course, like you're either going to become a serial killer or you're going to become an entertainer.
Good choice that we know.
And
of
you're
anyway.
both.
Right.
Serial killer on camera. So I mean, you do it the right way. We really appreciate you coming on, man.
Yeah, thanks.
Oh,
man.
of course.
This is fantastic.
Happy to do it.
This has been
Yeah,
great.
if you're, we'll be around all weekend live broadcasting.
Yep.
So please feel free to
Stop by the
Excellent. Thanks for having me.
Hey,
I'm going to go to
great.
the screening of this movie at the Myers house.
All right.
Oh my God! Yeah, that's
That's
like an
awesome.
hour or so away, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's, he did he has an on-set cinema. He goes visits locations that where they filmed and they screened the movie there. And he did this at the pool, which is in Kentucky. It's like in the middle of nowhere, and he had this screen there. It's like 300 people showed up to the middle of nowhere, and they were like swimming in the pool and watching the movie. That was awesome.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, he should do that again.
And that's our show, everybody. Thanks for listening or watching, wherever you're checking it out. This show is brought to you by our sponsor, Manscaped. Go check them out. They are saving our balls, and they can save yours too, or somebody you care about. It's a pretty awesome device, so go check out what they got, the Lawnmower 3.0, the Weed Whacker, and more. It's a great gift for Father's Day, birthdays, weddings, anything. Head over there and use promo code SNOBS, SNOBS, and you'll get 20% off and free shipping. Also, we'd like to thank our super fan patrons. They are all Scene Snob family to us. They support us every month, and you can be one too. So head over to the Patreon channel, the Scene Snobs, and it's $5 a month, and you can join in with helping support us and get the free perks too. Also, you can follow us on social media. We are on everything at the Scene Snobs, so Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. We are on Facebook, the Scene Snobs. Everywhere. We have fun stuff always going on, always have contests and stuff, so go follow us, check us out. You can go to our link tree by going to thescenesnobs.com. There's our link tree, there's our Patreon, there is all of our shows and the links for all of that, so thanks again for checking it out. Just head over to thescenesnobs.com where everything is, and we will talk to you soon.
It is Ryan here, and I have a question for you. What do you do when you win? Like, are you a fist pumper, a woohooer, a hand clapper, a high fiver? I kind of like the high five, but if you want to hone in on those winning moves, check out Chumba Casino. At ChumbaCasino.com, choose from hundreds of social casino-style games for your chance to redeem serious cash prizes. There are new game releases weekly, plus free daily bonuses, so don't wait. Start having the most fun ever at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.